Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alima Akhtar and today I will discuss about the nephrotic syndrome. First of all, what is nephrotic syndrome? It is a kind of disorder of the kidney. Nephrotic syndrome, it includes a variety of diseases of the kidneys and mainly it is characterized by 5 components. The first one is your anasarca, that is the edema of the whole body which will be visible. So that is the clinical features. The first one is the anasarca of the whole body and the second one is the proteinuria. That means there will be excess protein coming out into the urine. More than 3 gram per day is coming out through the urine. Welcome back to another video. In this video I will discuss about the clinical approach, about how to approach clinically to a patient to a child having nephrotic syndrome. To clinically diagnose nephrotic syndrome, first of all, the first point is to look for edema. Okay, the attendant, the informant will complain that my child is having swelling all over the body. So that swelling, you have to ask the patient, we have to ask the informant about how that swelling occurs, whether that swelling occurs first at the periorbital region or at the legs and hands and feet. So if the swelling progresses from above downwards, then it is pointing towards the causes to the kidney causes, that is the renal causes, that is nephrotic syndrome. So if the swelling progresses from periorbital region, from above downwards, then most common thing is renal causes, that is nephrotic syndrome. Sometimes edema occurs mostly at the lower limbs. So if edema occurs first at the lower limbs, at the dependent parts, then it points towards the cardiac causes, that is there is some ventricular failure, maybe left ventricular failure will cause edema of both the legs. So we have to clinically assess by asking the history from the informant. So in case of nephrotic syndrome, the most prominent clinical feature is edema, that is anasarca, swelling of the whole of the body. So I hope this point is clear. Now let me discuss about some other features. So this is the clinical feature, but we have to do some investigations in a child having nephrotic syndrome. Doing the blood investigations and the urine investigations, we can conclude that this child is having nephrotic syndrome, because we all know that nephrotic syndrome is characterized by few things that I have discussed earlier, that is proteinuria. There will be protein in the urine. More and more protein will be lost in the urine, which will be nephrotic range proteinuria. So in nephrotic syndrome, along with edema, there will be some other clinical features which we will have to look for. If the informant bring the child at the late stage, we may get some abdominal tenderness also. That abdominal tenderness will be due to spontaneous bacterial peritonitis, which is a complication of nephrotic syndrome. So in late stage only we will get abdominal tenderness. So if the abdominal tenderness is present, it is a matter of concern because spontaneous bacterial peritonitis may be present. And other system examination, like if we see the central nervous system, the child will be well alert and the mental status will be normal. And also if we look for anemia will not be present. Pallor may be present because of, in some cases only, and that pallor will be due to the skin will appear pale because of subcutaneous edema, but anemia will not be present. So skin will appear pale because of subcutaneous edema. Generally the child will not have any fever. The child will be afebrile, but if the child presents with fever, that means infection have occurred as a complication. So when as a complication infection will occur, the child will have fever. So we have discussed about the most prominent symptoms, that is the edema, which will progress from the periorbital region up to the whole body at the leg, then sacrum. Sacral edema will also be present at the back, and there will be edema over the genital area, mainly the scrotum, and hydrocele may be present and ascites may be present. Along with that, some other clinical features will be oliguria, which means an oliguria will be present at the advanced cases only. There will be diminished urine output. And respiratory symptoms, respiratory distress will be due to huge ascites. When there will be ascites, that will compress the fluid in the abdomen, will compress the thorax, and because of that there will be respiratory symptoms. And sometimes there may be hydrothorax, but the symptoms of hydrothorax are generally not present. So hydrothorax and pulmonary edema will also be present in advanced cases only. Okay, these are present only in advanced cases. So respiratory symptoms, gastrointestinal symptoms, and renal insufficiency are the features of advanced stage of nephrotic syndrome in a child. So some of the differential diagnosis of nephrotic syndrome, from which we will have to differentiate this case, are acute post-streptococcal glomerulonephritis, because in that case also edema will be present but not that prominent. Okay, edema is mostly present in nephrotic syndrome. In nephritic syndrome, edema will be present but may not be present also. So it comes under differential diagnosis, because oliguria is a very much prominent features of acute post-streptococcal glomerulonephritis, and oliguria is present in nephrotic syndrome also. Then I have already told that left ventricular failure. In case of left ventricular failure, there will be edema, but the edema will occur mostly in the dependent parts, that is the legs. So the edema will appear first in the leg region. So cardiac causes can also be differential diagnosis, and other like liver cirrhosis. In case of cirrhosis, ascites will be present. So in advanced cases of nephrotic syndrome, ascites is present. So this is also a differential diagnosis. And one of the most important differential diagnosis is protein energy malnutrition in case of child. Okay, in case of children, one of the most important differential diagnosis is protein energy malnutrition, because in case of protein energy malnutrition, edema is one of the most prominent feature in case of kwashiorkor. So we have to look for protein energy malnutrition also. And these are the angioedema, that is the edema of the whole body because of which is very extensive. Angioedema is very extensive. And two important negative features, the negative history we will have to take in case of a child coming with nephrotic syndrome, is the absence of macroscopic hematuria, because if the macroscopic hematuria is present, the diagnosis will be more towards acute post-streptococcal glomerulonephritis, because in case of nephritis, hematuria is the prominent feature, but in case of nephrotic syndrome, hematuria is not present. And another one is hypertension. I hope you will remember these two, that is macroscopic hematuria and hypertension.
Lastly, I want to say, if you like this video, if you have learned something, then please subscribe to my channel. Actually, I was reading after the video was completed to see if I have mistaken something, but thankfully I have told you all the correct things. So please subscribe to my channel. I will make some more videos in the future. Thank you all.